Good morning. It is a cold and crisp morning here in North Carolina. And today I'm going to talk about 3 essential items that you need to learn about to become a better bird photographer. So come along and enjoy this adventure. When I first got into bird photography, I knew that different birds lived in different habitats. I did not realize how precise certain environments had to be for certain species. For example, behind me is an open prairie. In an open prairie, you will find all kinds of sparrows, songbirds. A large number of birds will utilize this area here. But not all birds. A perfect example of this would be the red-cockaded woodpecker, a bird that is found in North Carolina. It's a very endangered species. But this bird will only build its nest in longleaf pine trees that are 60 years old and have fire on a regular basis around them. Without those elements there, the red-cockaded woodpecker will not be found in those areas there. Another example would be the Atlantic puffin. The Atlantic puffin is a pelagic bird. It lives its entire life at sea and only comes to shore to breed. These birds can be found in the wintertime here in North Carolina, but you have to be on a pelagic boat to be able to photograph these birds. And if you're a wildlife photographer and you want to expand your horizons and see more birds, you're going to have to learn a lot about habitat to be able to see those birds. So in this grass field is a great place to photograph birds, but you're not going to see a red-cockaded woodpecker or Atlantic puffin. The second piece of essential knowledge that you need to have is bird behavior. One behavior that I think is very important is pishing. So if you pish in North Carolina and go pish, 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 the Carolina chickadee will probably respond if he's in the area there. And why this is important to get photographs of the Carolina chickadee, other birds seek out the Carolina chickadee in the wintertime because they're a resident bird and they know where the local food is and the best shelter is around. So other birds will follow the Carolina chickadee to these resources here. And the Carolina chickadee is a very vocal bird, so that it's very easy for birds to find it. So by pishing in the wintertime here in North Carolina, you might get a mixed flock of other birds coming to you. Another example of this is the eastern bluebird. The eastern bluebird is a cavity nester. The thing is that one eastern bluebird will not build a nest within 150 feet of another eastern bluebird. And another cavity nester that's here in North Carolina is the house wren. The house wren won't tolerate any other cavity nester within a certain area of their nest. And with this kind of knowledge, you can determine where's the best areas to search for particular birds or where you're going to find or not find particular birds. And this is important to have for you in your back pocket so that you're not wasting time or resources trying to photograph a bird that you're not going to find. The migration is probably the most essential element that you need to know about as a wildlife photographer. Nothing affects bird behavior, bird action, birds being any place than the migration here. Different birds migrate in different directions, different locations, different speeds, all kinds of things affect the migration. And I didn't know any of this. I didn't know that birds didn't migrate in the same direction, the same place. An example of this would be the fish crow. The fish crow here in North Carolina breed in the central and mountains of North Carolina, and they winter down by the shore. We also have a bird called the black-polled warbler. The black-polled warbler has the longest migration of any bird in the Americas, and this bird migrates from the United States and Canada down to about North Carolina, and then it starts island hopping through the islands off of the shore of the United States and down through the Caribbean to South America. And then in the springtime, they reverse that and they migrate back up again. This bird is incredible, but knowing this knowledge will give you an opportunity. For example, there are some birds that can only be seen in North Carolina for a very short period of time as they migrate through the state. And they only migrate in certain areas. So we have some birds that will fly through the central part of North Carolina. We have birds that fly along the coast of North Carolina. And we have birds that will only fly over the mountains. So if you want to photograph these birds, you have to be in that location at that time to be able to photograph them. So I think the number 3 and probably the most important essential knowledge that you need to have is the migration. Well, I don't expect you to take a master's degree course in this bird behavior, because some of you are probably sitting there going, how do I learn this stuff? And how you learn it is you go on bird walks. You go to your local bird club. They will have people that come in and tell you this stuff here. There are plenty of resources out there, such as YouTube, which is a really good place to learn some of this stuff too. You can get this knowledge here, and you can specialize it to the area that you live in. So a little bit of research will really help you take really epic photos. So I'm hoping you got something out of this video. Please give it, if you did, please give it a thumbs up. All my social media stuff's down below. Please do all that stuff for YouTube down below. I want to thank you for watching. My name is Sean Leahy.